What if I told you that there's a nutrition app that doesn't just track your food, it makes a personalized plan for you, making weekly adjustments so you're always making progress, tailored to your unique metabolism. This may sound like something from the future, but this app exists today, and it's called MacroFactor. In this video, we're diving into the features of this groundbreaking app, how it makes plans, and how it makes those precise adjustments automatically, all based on your real-time progress. We'll cover how much MacroFactor costs, who the app is best suited for, and most importantly, I'm answering the big question: is this app worth the hype? Let's get started. Before we dive into MacroFactor and its unique features and how it works, on screen you're gonna find a list of all the features it has to offer. Feel free to pause or screenshot this for later reference. Now let's get into how MacroFactor works, because it is going to be a bit different than the other traditional nutrition tracking apps on the market. Most traditional tracking apps like MyFitnessPal, Chronometer, or Lose It, they offer a static plan, which means when you first join, you're gonna get a plan, and then you're gonna follow it, and you're gonna make manual adjustments through time if needed. MacroFactor, however, is different. It's going to make adjustments to your plan, adapting to your unique metabolic needs by assessing your progress, and making adjustments to your plan each and every week, keeping you on track to reach your goals. For example, if your goal is fat loss and you nail your calorie targets throughout the week, but the scale doesn't move, MacroFactor will tweak your food levels during your weekly check-in to keep you on track. Let me show you how this works. When you sign up, you're going to fill out a typical onboarding questionnaire. But MacroFactor does things a little bit differently. It's going to collect some more precise data, recent trends with your body weight, body fat percentage, activity levels, and your specific goals. But why does any of this matter? Here's what it does with the information. Because MacroFactor uses all this information to update your algorithm and create an incredibly accurate nutrition plan right out of the gate. As someone that already has a pretty good idea of my maintenance calories and how I would need to be eating to be in an effective deficit, I was really impressed. MacroFactor nailed my calorie and macronutrient targets immediately, which is something that rarely happens with other apps. However, for me, the initial plan was spot on, and this level of accuracy is a standout feature of the app. Honestly, with other apps, I end up ignoring their initial suggestions entirely because they're so far off base or unrealistic. But for most people, the initial plan that MacroFactor provides is going to be really close to what they actually need, and that's a huge win, especially if you're just starting out and you want to see results without having to second guess what you're doing or every number. Now let's move on to nutrition tracking, because the onboarding process is just the first step. Because when you start to track your food using MacroFactor, the app is going to confirm your customized plan, making sure that the plan that it created is truly optimized to your goals. Now, tracking your food in MacroFactor is quick and seamless, which is important if you want to stay consistent. You've got multiple options to track your food. You can simply tap the plus button at the bottom of the home screen to start tracking right away, or you can use the food log to track specific foods at specific times. From there, you can search foods by their name, you can scan barcodes or scan nutrition labels, or use the AI describe feature where you can type or voice what you ate and the AI automatically breaks it down into ingredients and nutrition facts. Or you can log custom foods or recipes that you've created in the app. I tested out all of these features and each one was accurate and fast to use. Also worth mentioning that MacroFactor uses a verified food search database. What this means is that the foods that you log on MacroFactor are more likely to be the correct nutrition information compared to other apps that use unvetted user submissions for the nutritional information. Once you find the food you're looking for, you can log it using a bunch of different measurement options: grams, ounces, cups, tablespoons, teaspoons, and more. This flexibility is a small but crucial feature because it allows you to log the food that you're going to eat in a way that makes the most sense for you. No matter how you log your portions and foods, you can log them accurately and then move on with your day. Now onto the topic of food tracking, because there's a lot of great time-saving features on MacroFactor that you're going to want to check out. First one, custom recipes. First, you can log custom recipes and foods. For example, I just made a big batch of frozen breakfast burritos, and I didn't want to log each individual ingredient every time I was going to eat them. I created a custom recipe for the entire batch, and the app automatically came up with the calories and macronutrients per each serving. No extra math, no guesswork, all of that is done for you. You can also add step-by-step cooking and preparation instructions to your recipes. So if you want to make the same dish again later, everything is set up and ready to go. But since MacroFactor automatically calculates the macros and calories per serving, you can easily log batch recipes without having to do do any additional math. And if you want to make some small tweaks to that recipe, you can explode the recipe back to its individual ingredients. This allows you to tweak ingredient qualities or make substitutions without having to create a brand new recipe every time. And with these custom recipes, you can easily share them with other MacroFactor users. So if I cook or share a meal with a friend or family member, I can send them the link to the recipe through the MacroFactor app, and they'll be able to log it within their app with just a few clicks. Another feature that helps you make the most of your tracking with MacroFactor is the dashboard. Right when you open the app, you're going to get a quick overview of your own nutrition, how much food you've eaten, how much remaining calories and macros you have left. In addition to nutrition tracking, you can easily monitor and log your weight, set new habit goals, view progress photos, as well as activity trends. The app also integrates with your fitness wearable via Apple Health or Google Health Connect, allowing for automatic tracking of your step count without having to switch between different apps. Another valuable tool on the dashboard is the ability to examine and take a closer look at your micronutrient intake. While tracking micronutrients isn't always talked about, especially in a weight loss context, it's very important, and especially for some specific populations like high-performing athletes who need to ensure that their diet supports performance and recovery. And tracking micronutrients like magnesium, potassium, and iron does just that. Or individuals with specific dietary needs or preferences or medical conditions that need to take a closer look at a specific micronutrient. MacroFactor tracks an extensive list of the micronutrients, but you can always pick and choose which ones matter the most to you. These show up throughout the app, from your daily nutrition overview to recipes and food details. And instead of overwhelming you with rigid targets, it provides you with flexible targets for each micronutrient, or you can come up with your own. This makes it easy to tailor the app to your own specific nutrition goals, like increasing your iron intake or hitting a dietary fiber goal. You'll also get insights to the foods that contribute the most for each nutrient, making it easier to make smarter meal decisions. Now, personally, I feel the most impressive aspect of the MacroFactor dashboard is that it's entirely customizable. Within the settings, you can select which metrics to display and which order they appear in, making it so you only see what's important to you at a glance. MacroFactor is also going to take this information and put it into easy to read reports and charts, allowing you to organize your data and analyze it through different time periods, daily, weekly, and even historically. This feature allows you to view both short-term results, but also long-term trends. Overall, the MacroFactor dashboard is a powerful tool. Tons of customization that gives you flexibility as well as efficiency, allowing you to focus on what truly matters the most to you and your nutrition without being overwhelmed with a bunch of unnecessary data. Next up, we have dietary flexibility. MacroFactor is going to support a bunch of different dieting styles and preferences. To carb or calorie cycle using MacroFactor, you can schedule days where you have an increase or decrease calorie or macronutrient target. These adjustments are automatically applied to your food diary, so you're always prepared. This is especially helpful if you want more flexibility on the weekend or a special occasion, or if you're an athlete with varying energy and macronutrient demands on training or rest days. MacroFactor also has a keto diet plan. This is going to set you up with a carb target that includes enough fiber as well as flexibility while ensuring you stay in ketosis. The rest of the non-protein calories are going to be allocated to fat, making it easy to focus on high-fat, low-carb meals. And lastly, MacroFactor has features to track your food around intermittent fasting periods. How it does this is it adjusts your food timeline to only show your feeding window, reducing clutter and keeping you focused only on your eating hours. And if you do full day 24-hour fasts, you can mark your fasting days so MacroFactor updates its algorithm, automatically adjusting and reflecting your calorie intake. These fasting tools make it much easier to make consistent progress while fasting. So that's an overview of the nutrition tracking features in MacroFactor. If you like what MacroFactor has to offer so far, you can try it out for free for 7 days by going to the first link in the description below. Now let's switch gears from nutrition tracking to progress tracking features in MacroFactor. To get the most accurate results from MacroFactor's dynamic energy expenditure system, it's important to weigh yourself and report it regularly, at least 3 times per week, though daily tracking is ideal if possible. And tracking your weight is simple. Tap the plus button at the bottom of the app and report report your weight in either pounds or kilograms. Beyond body weight, you can also log additional metrics like progress photos, body fat percentage, as well as 21 different measurements like waist or hip circumference. These tools make it easy to track change through time, giving you a clear idea of your progress. And all this data is accessible right from your dashboard. You're never going to have to look far to find it. These features not only keep you motivated, but also make it so MacroFactor is making adjustments based on what's actually happening with your data and your results. Which leads us to the check-in. And here's the cool part. Now that you've logged your food and body stats for at least a week, it's time to check in. This is really where the magic happens with MacroFactor. MacroFactor is going to remind you when it's time to check in, and the process is simple. Head to the strategy tab and tap check in, and here's what happens next. MacroFactor analyzes your body weight and your food log to take a closer look at progress, and based on this data, it adjusts your plan to keep you moving forward towards your goals. For example, my goal was to lose 5 pounds in 2 months using MacroFactor. After the first week, I lost right around 1 pound, so it made some small tweaks to my plan. It lowered my daily calorie target by around 29 calories and slightly brought down my carb and fat target. From there, you can either accept the changes or stick to your previous plan. It's completely up to you. Why is this feature so important? Well, MacroFactor's algorithm is designed to help you achieve results while maintaining a healthy, sustainable rate of weight loss or weight gain. If progress is slower than expected, it may gently reduce your calories to speed things up. Or if you're losing weight too quickly, which can risk muscle mass as well as your overall health, it might increase your intake to make sure you stay on track safely. And this all happens through an adherence neutral approach, which means the adjustments are based on what actually happened throughout the week, not on whether you perfectly hit your targets, based on what actually happened. This flexibility allows the app to account for the unexpected things in life, the things that come up, like changes in routine or the occasional indulgence, without derailing your progress. And its check-in recommendations are accurate and evidence-based. As a nutrition coach and educator in this space, I can confidently say that these adjustments and plans are the exact type of thing that I would give to my nutrition clients and help them achieve results in a way that's effective and sustainable. MacroFactor makes that level of expert guidance accessible to everyone. Now that's an overview of how MacroFactor works. Before we move on to pricing and who this app is best suited for, I want to highlight what I feel is the biggest strength of the app, which is flexibility. MacroFactor is designed to adapt to your needs, and this starts with how you track your nutrition. You can choose from options like searching for foods, creating recipes, or scanning barcodes. You can also track a wide range of micronutrients or choose different dieting styles or methodologies that fit your life. And whether you like to keep things simple or dive into detailed data, MacroFactor allows you to use as many or few features as you like. Perhaps most importantly, MacroFactor gives you flexibility in your nutrition plan. The magic lies in its dynamic energy expenditure calculator and algorithm, which adjusts your plan based on what actually happened during the week, not what you planned or how perfectly you hit your targets. And the adherence neutral approach is going to balance structured tracking with mindful eating practices, making it effective while still being realistic. It's the feature that I found the most valuable as well as impressive, so I can get results without having to sacrifice my entire life. Now, with that being said, MacroFactor is not a free tracking app, so let's talk about the price. Currently, MacroFactor offers 3 pricing tiers. It's $11.99 for a monthly plan, $47.99 for a 6-month plan, or $71.99 for the entire year. I used the monthly plan for this video, and I can confidently say it's worth it. MacroFactor over-delivers compared to the other paid tracking apps that I've used, and even better, you can try it for free for 7 days before committing. All you gotta do is click the first link in the description below, and you can get started. So who is MacroFactor best suited for? Honestly, when I first heard about MacroFactor, I assumed that it was best suited for athletes and lifters, people who need detailed control over their energy expenditure and energy intake. And while it does excel in those areas, after using it, I can confidently say it is for everyone. Whether your goal is fat loss, muscle gain, or simply monitoring your nutrition, MacroFactor is going to have the tools to help you achieve results. Its ease of use, flexibility, and even the advanced features like progress tracking, micronutrient tracking, and the standout dynamic metabolic algorithm make it a powerful tool for virtually any goal. So whether you're an athlete preparing for an event and you got to adjust your energy needs, or someone looking to lose a few pounds and become more energized and take control of your nutrition, then I'm confident MacroFactor will help you reach those goals. And if you've made it this far, I highly recommend you give it a try. You can test it out for free on their 7-day trial. Just go to the first link in the description below and click on that to get started. As great as all those tips are, if you're really serious about starting a nutrition coaching business, the next thing I'll have you do is check out this video I've linked up right here. In this next video, I'll teach you exactly how I would set up a macro plan for my clients and how you can do it yourself. You're gonna learn all about that process in this video right here. So check it out now, and I'll see you in the next video.